Good morning, class 4th. Children, we are on page number 11, lesson 1. And in the previous period, we had studied about the primary and secondary storage devices. We started with this page in which we were discussing about primary and secondary storage devices. Now, today we will start from paragraphs 2, this second para. Let's start. However, primary and secondary storage may also refer specifically to the components inside the computer. Means we can say that not just about the labels where we are storing the data, we can say they also refer to the component, the machinery part also. In this case, primary storage typically refers to random access memory, while secondary storage refers to the computer's internal hard drives. Okay, so we can say the primary storage means the computer is getting stored in the RAM, okay, and then secondary storage is computer internal hard drive, which we can see also. RAM, commonly called memory, is considered primary storage because it stores data that is directly accessible by the computer CPU. Means the CPU of the computer can directly get the data from the RAM. RAM is a very high speed storage medium, as I told you in the class also, that we just cannot make out when the data is going to RAM and when it is getting stored to other places, because it is very high speed storage medium. It is like within seconds it is happening. And there is no delay when we want to access the information, because the RAM is connected directly to the CPU via the memory bus. Means RAM is directly connected to CPU, so the computer CPU can access data from RAM very quickly. For this reason, RAM is used to store data loaded by active programs, and that is why, since CPU can access the data for other devices, we can the data from the active programs and the operating system is directly going to RAM first. Like if you are working on Paint is an active program. You have drawn a painting, so it is going to RAM. And if you if you give the command for printing, then CPU can directly access from RAM for the device that the printer is. Now, hard drives are considered secondary storage since they are not connected directly to the CPU. RAM is only connected directly to the CPU, but hard drives are not. Hard drives send and receive data through input-output bus, which may pass through a cache or other type of memory before getting to the CPU. So if hard drives want to access something, first it has to go through a procedure through input-output bus, then through cache, and then it will go to the CPU. Also, hard drives are not as fast as RAM, which means they cannot transfer data as quickly. They are not as fast as RAM are, and therefore they cannot pass the data so quickly. But a very important feature of hard drive is that they can retain data when the computer is turned off. There is no data loss if the data is stored in hard drives. This is because hard drives store data magnetically. They store data magnetically, while for RAM we require an electrical current. So when the electrical current is off, data is automatically get lost. While the computer's primary internal hard drive is the most common secondary storage device, we can say that other devices are also secondary storage devices, like these devices: floppy disk, hard disk, CD, pen drive. All these also comes under the category of secondary storage devices. Now, applications of computer, you have studied earlier also that they are used in almost all the fields nowadays. There is not even a single field in our life where computers are not being used. So let's see in short, where are they being used and for what. In banks, computers are used in banks to make transactions with the clients. Various transactions that the banks are making with their clients. They could be money depositing, then withdrawals when the money is withdrawn, then money transfer from one place to another, or from one branch to another, or from one bank to another, or from one person to another, and the ATM transactions. Even for the security purpose, the computers are used in banks. Then next is hotels. In hotels, it is used for maintaining the records of guests, when they have checked in, for how long they have stayed, and various other details, for making their bills, for checking security in the various departments of the hotels. Okay. Then education, the field of education is impossible to think without computers, because teachers are using computers everywhere. Then for maintaining records also computers are being used, for maintaining your records, the record of the employees, the record of the books, the record of the classes, etc., etc. Then science and technology, inventions and innovations play a vital part in our daily lives. We cannot imagine our life without new inventions and innovations in the existing ones, because there are new requirements every single day, and new products and gadgets are coming up. But for that we need to have the prior information, and for that computer is very useful. Then doctors can use computer in hospitals to operate on patients. The doctors can these days patients can consult doctors from out of India also, or from very far off places, with the help of computers. Health reports and records are also maintained using the computer. And for entertainment, very important, we can watch movies, we can play songs, we can create our own movies, games, apps, etc., etc., using computers. So in entertainment also it is used in big ways. There are numerous other applications in computers which you will study in the higher classes. So children, today you will be reading till here, and you will be doing the exercises also. Now we shall meet in the next period. Bye bye.